First thing that you need to know how to do before doing any juggling at all is how to stand properly. Proper body position is very important. Even if you're a very advanced juggler, you still want to make sure you're standing in the correct position before you start juggling anything, and throughout the juggling pattern as well. So the proper body position is as follows. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward. You may notice from time to time that my feet go out a little bit like this. It's fine just as long as you're not, juggling while doing ballet. A little bit of bend in the knees, just so that they're not locked. You want to make sure that you're using your muscles to keep you stabilized and not rely on your skeletal system, because you'll wobble around. Keep your back straight, your forearms parallel to the ground when you start, and point your hands in. Again, keep your back straight, and your head is going to look up. A lot of people think that they have to look at the objects the whole time that they're in the air, all the way to the point where they're in their hand. I mean, the equivalent of that would be like if you're playing tennis and you follow the ball all the way into the racket and then hit. You just kind of have to feel where the racket is. You have to feel where your hands are and make adjustments based upon where the objects are going. Now, the way we're going to make these throws is basically just lifting our arms right in front of our face. I encourage people to use more of their arm than their wrist. This helps you make higher, more accurate throws. If you just use your wrist, you're not using as many muscles as you could be using, which, you got your whole arm there. Why not use it? And I'm not saying lower it all the way down and juggle like a monkey, but I am saying that you want to use your arms to guide the path of the balls or whatever objects that you're juggling. So before we do anything, I just want us all to just work on doing this. You're going to throw and then reach up to catch and lower and then throw with the other hand. This is what would happen if you were doing 3 in slow motion. All right, so with 1, throw, reach up to catch and lower, and then stop. Start again, throw, reach up to catch, lower, and then stop. So let's just do this for a while. Everyone just stand up, start moving your arms right in front of your face, just like this. I don't care if you look stupid, just keep doing it. I don't care if people say you look like a monkey. People tell me that all the time. Just keep doing this. This will help you learn how to make proper throws when we get to the balls. Everything is happening inside your body's frame, all right? Nothing is going on out here. You're not scooping around like this. A lot of people teach this method, and it's just wrong. I can't apologize enough for these people, but you don't want to have your elbow sticking out here like this and juggle like this. Not only is it ugly, it's just wrong, and you're going to limit your potential. Keep everything in front of you right here, and you'll be able to juggle a lot more objects a lot easier. Okay, 1 ball. Now, before we get to any juggling, we're going to make sure that we're in the correct body position. If you drop and pick it up, first thing you think of is getting into the proper body position. You don't want to just make a mistake, pick it up, and then start again without making sure you're standing correctly. Feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward, a little bit of bend in the knees, weight evenly distributed on both feet. You don't want to lean to one side or the other. Keep your back straight, elbows in at the side, forearms parallel to the ground, and your hands pointed in. The reason why I encourage you to point your hands in is because a lot of people have seen juggling done in cartoons and they think everything happens in a circle like this. It doesn't really. The basic pattern is very narrow and happens within the frame of your body. So by pointing your hands in, you reinforce narrow throws that happen from the center of your body, and you don't throw from out here. A lot of people will throw correctly with the right hand and then just kind of whip it around like that, thinking they're making a hook shot or something. That's not how juggling works either. Not with the basic patterns anyway. We're going to be crossing this ball from our right hand to our left and our left hand to our right. We're going to make an X in the air. So it's going to cross in front of our face here and come down and catch and then stop. And then we're going to cross this way. It's going to come down there and stop. Now, a lot of people think juggling is continuous, so that must be the case for 1 ball as well. It is not. This is just an exercise. We're not going to keep going. This isn't continuous. A lot of people look like they're playing hot potato because they just throw the ball and they just kind of keep slapping it around and keep it going because they've seen juggling and they see it's continuous, so they try to create that with 1 ball. But with 1 ball, this is just a training exercise. Juggling does not actually start until you get to 3. It's 1 throw, 1 catch, done. This is an exercise to make sure we can make 1 throw and 1 catch properly. So once we're in the correct body position, we lower our arm, and then we're going to throw. When it reaches the top, we're going to lift up with the left hand, catch it, cushion as we lower, and then stop. We're not flipping it up like this with our wrist. We're not hooking it around the side like this. We're just making sure that our hands are pointed in, and everything is happening within the frame of our body. We're throwing right in front of our face, and we're catching right in front. Lift up, release, reach up, catch, and lower. All right, now there's a lot of instruction to this, but if you just look at it for a little bit, you can see I throw from the inside. Everything stays within the frame of my body. If you picture a line right in the middle of my body, the ball is going the same distance on this side of the line as it is on this side of the line. From my right hand, it crosses over to this side, and then from the left hand, it crosses the line, goes over to that side. Reach up to throw, and then reach up to catch. Lower, and then stop. I'm starting you out at this height here, which is a little bit above the head, because it's a lot easier to work on getting this lower than it is to work on learning it low and then building up the height. This way, you're learning proper throwing technique, and you're also getting higher accurate throws than you would if you just kind of threw it from hand to hand like this. Also, at this height, it'll give you more time to fit in the other two balls. You don't want to start off with a really fast-paced, rushed pattern. You want to slow it down as much as possible so that you can get a feel for the timing and the placement. Then you can bring it down lower. And once you get lower, it's the same technique, just not as much follow-through is required. But learning it here will give you the option of being able to do it up here, or do it here, or do it here. So after you get that down, then move on to 2. Okay, 2 balls. First of all, do not do this. That is not how you do 2. Everybody thinks it is, but I assure you, it is not. The correct way to do 2 is the same way we were doing 1. The only difference is that they're happening at different times. So when you throw the first ball, right when it reaches the vertex of its flight, right when it's on its way back down, you then throw the second ball underneath and across to the other side. So it looks like this. Right? Now you want to make sure that both throws are going the exact same height. That's the biggest problem that I see, is that people make a good first throw and then a little eeny-beeny second throw. Good throw, you know, that's almost as bad as doing this. You want to make sure that they're the same height and they're the same distance on either side of your body. Right, left, catch, catch. And then start with the left hand. Left, right, catch, catch. Right, left, and then left, right. Stop after each set of 2 throws. Make sure you're still in the correct body position, and then start again. After you get a little more comfortable with this, you can speed it up, get it a little more continuous, but not completely, because there's still this space where the third one will go. So 2 balls, 2 throws, and stop. Right, left, catch, catch. You want to get that 10 times in a row perfectly, starting from the right and then starting from the left before you move on to 3. Also, make sure you're doing this without moving around at all. Keep your feet planted. If you have to walk and move around to catch the balls, you've made less than perfect throws. So make the balls come to you. You don't go to them. So not a compromise. Okay, now for 3 balls. It's exactly the same as 2. It's the same timing and everything. The only difference now, instead of stopping after the second throw, you're going to make one more throw from the right hand, assuming you're starting with the right. Start with the hand that has 2. So if you want to start with the right hand, put 2 in the right hand. If you want to start with the left hand, put 2 in the left hand. It's not like start with the hand that has 2, and whichever hand happened to have 2, you have to start with that hand. You can put 2 in either hand that you want to start with, and start with that hand. For myself, my right hand is dominant, so I'm going to put 2 in my right hand and start with that hand. Now before we get to 3 throws, let's do 2 throws one more time, just so that we can get used to throwing 1 ball out of 1 hand while holding 2 balls. Right, left, and stop. You also get practice catching 1 ball while there's already a ball in that hand. Right, left, stop. Okay, now before you stop, that's when the third throw gets thrown. It's going to go right, left, and then right again. The exact same timing. Make sure they're all going the exact same height. Right, left, and then the third one. And that's it. It just repeats after that. Right, left, right. Stop. Good. Perfect. Stop. Take a break. Eat something. Unless you failed, then try again. Right, left, right, stop. Right, left, right, stop. And I would also encourage you to start working on this from the left hand as well, just to balance out your skill from both sides. A lot of people just learn everything from their dominant side, and it makes them feel good because they can learn it quickly. But to become better overall, you want to be able to do everything from each side. So left, left, and stop. Right, left, right. So again, you already learned how to do this. You shouldn't be at this step unless you can do this already. After you can do that, you just fit in the third throw. The same timing for the second and third as the first to the second. So the first throw, you wait till it reaches the top, and then you throw the second one underneath. Then for the third throw, you wait until the second one reaches the top, and then you throw the third one underneath. Right, left, right, stop. Right, left, right, stop. You want to work on this until you can get it 10 times in a row perfectly without moving your feet, maintaining the proper body position. After you can do that 10 times in a row, then work on 4 throws. The idea here is to work on each level before moving on. Master 3 throws 10 times in a row, and then move on to 4 throws. Master 4 throws 10 times in a row, and then move on to 5. After you can do this about 20 times, 10 times in a row, then you're probably ready to see how long you can go. Now, if you can get up to about 30, 40, or 50 throws with proper body position, proper form and technique, you're probably ready to start playing around with the different heights. Bring it down a little bit lower. Speed will increase, and it'll get much lower. And you can go all the way down here if you want. And then eventually, if you're good enough, you don't have to look at it that much. Everything should come right back to your hands in the same position they were when you threw them. If you have to walk around or make any of these adjustments to catch the balls, you've made less than perfect throws. So by forcing yourself to stand in one position, you'll know you've made accurate throws, and then you can build off of that. You know, after you've learned how to juggle perfectly, you can add movement to it. It's a lot easier to add movement to a perfect pattern than it is to take away uncontrolled movement from a pattern that is out of control. So, perfect the pattern, then do whatever you want with it. But please, get it down perfect. It'll make your life so much easier.